Hey, welcome in, Gaga. And I guess so, Ceribot is always here to have company for everybody, including myself. How are you doing on this wonderful Wednesday evening? I have been playing a little off stream, so we're gonna dive back into the favela in a moment, but you recall that I said we will have to fix up some of the parks I deleted. And I want to keep doing at least one every single time we're playing. So I'm gonna jump in real quick. And we're gonna fix up this one this time. And then afterwards, we're gonna dive in and properly play the game. But this is something I'm gonna have to keep doing for the next time till we get rid of all of these. I know I could also delete obsolete entities, but I don't want to forget. Come on, why is it not letting me hit it? It did before. There we go. Finally. But yes, I don't want to forget where I placed everything, so I don't really feel like deleting obsolete entities is an option till we replace all of these. In general, parks is one of the areas where I have to admit we have not seen very many great parks from the editor, which to me at least is slightly confusing because with parks, I'd argue you don't really need to use the editor because I think the parks are probably done the best just combining stuff that we already have in the game. So I would have imagined that there is more people who are diving into the editor to make some cute small parks. But yeah, does not seem to be the case. Yeah, exactly. I'm getting rid of Vashi stuff right here. Because exactly the same problem. I still have too many Washi things. And some of them I cannot remove that easily. But this one, or the parks, I guess I can kinda delete. Though it does mean that we're gonna have to like rebuild the parks ourselves, because I don't like the pocket parks we have available. And it's a bit sad, because then that means they won't sit on the benches or anything we're doing. So I would love if some people would actually go in and make some more parks. And welcome in, Maestro. Nice to see you, cutie. How are you doing today? Yeah, I also was thinking about empty parks, Gaga, but the truth is, actually, I don't want them empty, because the reason why you actually want to use the pre-detailed parks is if we do what I'm doing here, people will not use this, right? People will not sit down here or do anything with this. So, not amazing. I welcome in, Rookie. And indeed, Maestro is an absolute genius, especially at trains. The only compliant I have, but it's a pretty personal and specific one, is I wish Maestro would do a little more US things. But then that's just a me problem and not something Maestro should listen to, because his trains are beautiful. And even in Los Vagos, most of your US trains, especially the generic ones, work really well, even in our build. So, very happy about that. It is new, or it has been unlisted for a long one. I am using that one also, but yes, it is new that it's public to everyone, and it is new that it's not using EIA anymore. So it's an actual proper. Whoops, that German in me. If Maestro notice what I did here, Maestro will make fun of me. Please, I hope you did not notice what just happened there. That was a very German brain fart. I might have typed something silly into the search, being confused why I don't find anything. But again, absolute brain fart. That's on me. And as a last thing, and then we can properly dive into real detailing, I just want to like knock out one of these parks pretty much every time we're playing till we're finally done and can get rid of all of them. I might have typed bank, yes. Don't point it out, Maestro. Embarrassing enough that I did what I did, but yes, I totally pulled a very German move and typed bank, assuming to see a bench instead, because in German, bank and bench is the same word. But anybody who has more than a single IQ knows that they need to not mix those up. But then I guess I don't have more. This woman, I am. Hold on. We're gonna see if we can place a different person on this side properly. That looks a lot better. We're gonna get rid of the woman. She's kinda in the ground. Okay, there we go. That looks a lot more appropriate. And I do think this pretty much is all we need here. Maybe we should put a few sims still. So this is properly in use. We're gonna put somebody who's selling hot dogs here, and then we're gonna put at least one guy, maybe with a few kids. Family getting hot dogs, and then we're finally done with this. And have any of you guys already looked at the new assets that Joe put out? Joe put out some absolutely beautiful new houses. I only looked at the screenshots. I have not actually looked at the houses yet, but they came at the perfect moment for us because now we're done with this. Yeah, I will probably have a look at them. Maybe we can even have a look at them together, though I can't stream that long today and I actually want to make some progress. Because I did make some progress off stream. As you guys can see, a lot of this is still not properly in in shape. All of this is a bit too cramped. I definitely want to move all of this factory chisel further down here. What is slowly starting to take shape is this. I have spent quite a moment off stream, keep filling stuff out here. I think we're gonna take a long time to finish this. So no finish in sight, but I do think this will work pretty well, especially if we're taking these here and we move them, I don't know, 50 or 100 meters further down here. So we have a bit more separation in between here where we can fade out our favela. But yes, it is definitely finicky, especially because if we go into the the info view, you guys probably think all of this is unfunctional, and the truth is nearly everything is functional. Everything that is highlighted in green here is functional, right? And then yes, we're cheating in the hillside because obviously I cannot really make those functional. We're gonna make them functional a little because in some areas like this we can sneak in some blocks to get some more more movement further down in the favela as well. But obviously, somewhere as far up here, we will not be able to do that anymore. But I am fairly happy with how this side here has slowly started to take shape. Initially, I thought I would end the favela just on this side and keep it fully only in the hillside. The longer I was playing around with how we can transition the favela without it looking super out of place. I mean, it definitely is out of place since it's a favela and we're in a US build, right? But I want to make it look somewhat realistic at least. And for that, I do think we need to manage to transition this fairly smooth. And I do think by now we're heading for a good direction to get that done. I think the majority of today, we're pretty much just gonna plop more buildings because it is a tedious process to get this to look somewhat appropriate. But I really like this site. I think this basketball court here out in the open to finish off the favela in this plateau is really nice. And again, pretty much all of these houses here are also functional, even though they're as cramped and overlapping as they are. One of the things I'm gonna start diving into right away is tracing the road here. I redid some of the road network to get it into a bit better shape. So I had to delete some of the net lanes. So one of the things to make this look a bit more appropriate again is that we're gonna go in and use the amazing dirty roads from El Gando that still are probably the most valuable mod for the entirety of Los Vagos. We could absolutely not pull this city off without this pack. And let me catch up on chat real quick. Yeah, but I do think the UI part is a bit ignored by Ice Flakes today, or not today, but so far, because I do think they think their solution is fine, and I will agree that their solution for the UI for now is fine. The issue is if we get more and more assets, that will not be fine for a long time. So I'm just gonna say just use the UI however it is and keep using it, and then eventually Ice Flakes will have no different choice but to go back and fix it up and give us some more opportunities, because yeah, the UI is gonna start getting really difficult, especially if more people start adding their own tabs, which is the solution that Ice Flakes is offering us. So I don't think it's wrong to add tabs, but yeah, it's a bit tricky. I'm sure it's something they'll revisit eventually, so probably just have to be patient. So far, I have to say, I think Ice Flakes is doing a great job, especially for them just having taken over a game they have not developed and for still getting familiar with everything. I think the last updates all have been pretty solid, beside the loading debacle that happened, but then in all seriousness, at least they tend to fix everything really quickly. So even with that, I'm not too critical about it. And how are you liking them? If you just had a look at them already, Rookie. Because I'm really excited because they will, or they're kinda coming in a perfect moment for the build. Because one area that I am not happy with at all yet, and I'm still not sure what I want to do, is this. I want this to be a small, separate town. I want this to have a little bit of a downtown, but I don't want this to be a big town. And I struggled finding houses that I find really fitting here. And Joe's houses will come absolutely clutch to turn this into a little hillside town slash village. So the timing is perfect for us. My loading still is pretty slow, but I also have a very specific issue that not most people in the game will face, and it's that I have quite a few local EIA mods. And the issue with those local EIA mods is that sometimes they start loading before EIA itself is loading. And then obviously they fail because they are missing the mod that makes them functional. And since my playset is so big, it takes PDX quite a while to initialize my mods. And then I face that pretty annoying issue. So I have to block my game off the internet, which makes everything a lot slower and leads to not or leads to me having to block the internet, and yeah, my loads are still like 20 minutes or something. I'm glad that it's gotten better for everybody else. In all seriousness, since my game is at least usually pretty stable, I've never minded the long loading times very much because I just load it up and then I'm fine. Why is Cheeks? I don't know. I fear my mom probably is the better question to, or better person to answer this. I'm not sure why I exist. I I fear I even been a wish kid, which questionable. Who would want somebody like me? But yeah, I've not been an accident, so I don't know why. Again, I can give you my mom's number, and then you can inquire about it yourself. I'm wholeheartedly slightly upset of my parents that I am not an accident, because wholeheartedly, it's such a cool thing to be saying you are an accident as a joke, and my parents denied me that comedic value for the rest of my life, which I'm not saying I'm a bit upset about it, but I'm absolutely a bit upset about it. Honestly, I wish I would be able to say I'm an accident. Sadly, I am not. I have a great tip for any Find It user. It's a feature that TDW added after I inquired if this might be possible to add. And it makes finding everything that you added new to your game a lot easier. And if you open your Find It, you have this, which says toggle view and sorting panel. And then the two new ones that TDW added is this, most recently installed and most recently added. They don't always work flawless. Sometimes, for some reason, they don't always show correct what you installed most recently. Usually, it does work pretty flawless for me, so I can only always recommend these two buttons to sort by recent things you added. So maybe that helps in future, but yeah, sometimes I also cannot find things easily. Yeah, they are. I also did not use to add them much, but I test pretty much 90% of the new assets uploaded on PDX. And I found it very annoying to do so in the past. And then I asked TDW if maybe this is something he could add. And it took not even 2 days, I think, and we had it in the game. And it makes it a lot nicer to find all the new stuff you added without having to search for them in menus. So always recommend this to people. Though I have to admit, sometimes it seems to not work flawless. Like I had multiple instances in the past where it does not recognize things perfectly when I install them, but most of the cases it does. And 3 is not bad, Cuboid, wholeheartedly. I will always have to say this, cause I don't stream on a schedule and I stream so irregular. I guess it is kinda difficult to catch my streams. So honor that you're wasting your lifetime on watching such a boring stream, but appreciate it, cutie. I still need a solution for this from somebody who is more clever than I am. How I can have this road here be accessible for the houses, but not have cars drive through it, so we can actually barricade it up. I am not entirely sure how I can solve this the best. In fact, for now, I just given up and have accepted that people will drive through there, which obviously eventually we don't want that. But till I figured out a good way to block them, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this. Yeah, I also don't understand. I always wanted to ask CDW on why sometimes it's working and sometimes it doesn't, but it's slightly annoying. The one thing I wish Find It could do that I notice myself fairly often, I wish we would have one filter here, because this says only show custom assets, but custom assets includes everything that you install from PDX mods. So it includes all the region packs, for example. And I wish we had one of these filters that would give us only unofficial custom assets, so no region packs or anything like that, and only stuff actually downloaded from like indie creators. But I asked TDW about that in the past, and he said he does not know if that's possible in any easy way. Maybe we can inquire about that again, because it's been a while ago that I asked, but I'm not entirely sure how to handle this. Otherwise, I have to say I still have like a bit stability issues with my game since the patch, which surely is mod related. But my performance have gotten a lot better, especially after having let the game run a bit more. My my simulation is a lot more solid than it used to be. Which for me is very curious because the last time I asked people, it seems to be very different. Some people seem to have worse performance. Some people have to have seem to have better performance since the last patch. Not entirely sure why that differs for people. The question is, do we start already detailing some of these areas out a bit more? I think we should. In general, I don't want to dive into detailing too easy because the layout of the area is still not fully locked in. But I do think this side of the road is mostly locked in. We'll probably squeeze in a bit more proper builds to get it look a bit smoother, but I do think we can slowly start adding a bit of detail and hopefully get this to look quite a bit nicer from doing so. And if anybody has good tips for me for this favela, please scream at me. I find this very difficult. I've never been in Brazil in my life. And as everything, I'm trying to build something that feels realistic to me. Probably it is realistic for no Brazilian person ever. So I'm happy about any proper input or help on how we can get this to look a bit more realistic. One of the things that will drastically change all of this is, I think, if we go in with actual vegetation and start styling this out a bit. I'm tempted to actually dive in on this side and start detailing a bit more, just so I get a better idea of where I want to go with this style-wise in the end. So I did not plan on detailing already, but I do think we're gonna start detailing up this front side a little bit, at least, just to give a bit better idea of where we wanna land in the end. And I guess Cactus and Favela is probably not a very realistic fit, but then I want my favela to kind of fit into our US build, so I don't care. We will absolutely cactus up this area. In general, I probably want this area to be a bit more green than most of the rest of our build. These benches can stay. The homeless can also stay for now. Eventually, we're probably gonna go and delete these. But for now, we'll allow them to stay. We will, absolutely. Later on, this will definitely have a lot of, like, motorbikes and things like that. Also, welcome in, cutie. How was Paul today? Here we have a bit of a silly gap, but I don't think it's a problem because I would actually like to stair this up. Have to have a bit of a look what staircase could be fitting here, but I would like to have a bit of a pass through with a stair up to the basketball court. Probably if we fit a few of these next to each other, that should already kinda work. Let's have a look. Maybe we can find an even better staircase, but all of these with the guardrails look a bit too professional. Maybe we can actually use one of these very old ones that I made just to throw this in here. And here, obviously, we will need to fit a different house in this corner to close this off, because obviously we don't want that gap to be there. But I think the staircase itself works quite well. And the house plopping is going to be a bit tedious, because with that, we will have to look at different buildings quite a bit, because as no matter how much I plop these down already, I always find it difficult to remember what was where. Well, when is it not painful? It feels like every time you complain about that. So, poor you, but also not unexpected. We could even do something like this, but I guess that would look silly from the. I'm gonna place this just to see, but I don't think this is our solution. Because I think from the back, this is probably gonna look very silly. Maybe we can get this to work. But we would have to hide that entire side of the tunnel. So we'd have to go at least this far. This is gonna look awful from the back, I can already tell. Let's have a look just to confirm that this looks awful. I don't hate it, but I don't like this. And I don't think I can properly avoid this without looking super silly. And it's a tad higher than I'd like it to be anyways. We're gonna remove this again and find a better fitting one for that corner. But yes, probably this is what you guys will have to suffer through today quite a bit, because we will have to look at many buildings to find small buildings to fit out these corners. And especially the further you get with it, the more difficult it will get for us to find fitting buildings to close these off. So I'm sure this is gonna be a bit finicky. Honestly, that kind of works. If we now take this one and move it closer to close that gap, we keep this gap here, but we could just close this off with boulders or even find a very small building to find. No, this is not a local asset. This is a super underappreciated pack. It's the slum pack. And what I'm doing, this is a mod that I've been calling out a lot lately, and it makes this entire build possible. There is a mod that maybe you've not heard about or used yet, but it's ABC, Advanced Building Control. And it allows you to do a lot of cool things. Mainly, it allows you this, for example, you can see is a functional building, but it does not have any terraforming, so it allows us to get away with quite a bit more than we usually do. This mod allows you to turn terraforming off for specific assets, which makes it really powerful to build in terrain. It still terraforms a little. Here you can see it. These have terraforming off as well. And you can see it still terraforms slightly, but not over the entire lot anymore. So that is really powerful. And then the even more powerful part of it, and I think the part that we're going to use a lot today, we have local copies of most of them, but what you can do is take any building pretty much. Yes, okay, then you know the function that I was about to tell you about, and it's exactly that what you were about to say, and it's a static ploppable function where you can take any asset. This one actually is probably a good one for what I want, and you turn it into a ploppable, and then it's unfunctional, but you can place it wherever you want pretty much, which for us here is a big lifesaver. Can we get this to fit in there without looking entirely silly, but close off that gap? I don't like that it shows so far in there. Here, I actually think that works quite well. I think it's good enough, honestly. It's not perfect, but I don't hate it. Let's have a look from this side. Wholeheartedly, I think that's fine enough. One more area I want to fill up is this, because I think this looks a bit weird. So we want to find one that has like a small open top, or preferably maybe even this. But I think the building is a bit too big towards the back. And is the same we're using here already. But I want a small top that we can sit on top there. But yes, Rookie, this slum pack, it has been out quite a while already. I think one of the reasons why it flew under the radar quite a bit is because when it gotten released, it had a few issues. So when it was released, I think many people tried it and then decided, oh no, it's broken. I cannot use this. But the sir who made the pack went back on it and fixed it up. So it's not broken anymore. But then I think many people did not revisit it. Hence, it didn't really blow up as big as it should, because I think the pack is amazing. It's not flawless, there is a very few small issues, but really, it is pretty goddamn beautiful. Can we manage to entirely hide this weird roof that is poking out there? If so, I would be very happy. Kinda, wholeheartedly. I think that looks a lot better than before. Hey, look, Gaga, my cute girlfriend is advocating for your gang. She is asking for motorcycles around the basketball court, which I'm sure the owner of the scooter club will be pro motorcycles in this area. Yeah, I knew it. See, we cannot terraform here because this is too deep. We're gonna have to fill up the area with a bit of boulders, I think is the best we can do here. We have these flat boulders, which are really nice for areas like this. These here. And then we can just find fitting flat boulders. And close this off. All right, that looks pretty appropriate, I would say at least. Sorry, I teach you the opposite. Don't you are saying it exactly the wrong way. I am always right, Gaga. This is maybe there is gonna be something in chat disagreeing in a moment. Maybe she already is doing something else. But I am the one that is always right, Gaga. You very much misunderstood this. This is gonna be a bit finicky. I have no idea what we're gonna use for the ground decoration here. Maybe we could actually hold on. Think some of your surfaces might actually be a great fit here. I mean, she just got home, so I would hope that she already is not paying attention anymore. So I can get away with saying I'm the one that's always right. Otherwise, I'm sure you would have already had something in chat saying that that's not the truth. The question is, will these go over the court or won't they? I'm actually not certain. We will just have to find out the hard way. I hope they go below. They do go below. Okay. This is not the rocks I want, but we can just replace them. I've not used Area Bucket much, but I still have a warning in Skype that says Area Bucket can crash us, so we're gonna save before we try around with Area Bucket, and let's hope that we don't crash, but we might. Yeah, I also did not have issues with it, but in Skype it shows that currently it is causing issues for people. Oh, okay. I never use this. I hate this feature. I have never used this. I only use Area Bucket for the replace feature, really. These are the ones I like. I actually think these are pretty good for what we want to have here. The other feature has never worked great for me. I know that I've been told in the past that for certain situations where I'm using like where I manually draw, people tell me that I should use the area bucket replace instead, but I don't know. I never had it work as smoothly as I like it to from the get-go. Here I'm tempted, but I should. Actually, we can do it already, because here I would like to bring this pass up here. Here we don't know exactly, because we will still have to fill this area out, so I'm gonna draw it a bit bigger than what we probably need. This has also always been a question of me. I doubt that there is somebody in chat right now who knows, but is it problematic for performance if you give your surfaces 1,000 different anchor points on the outside, or is it better to draw them a bit more sparingly in points? I'm never certain about it, and I usually tend to click quite a lot, which maybe I shouldn't. But why is that quicker than just click a single time and just replace it instead of the preview? I've seen other people do that as well. Did I scroll over it? Nope, I didn't. Alright, Rookie, thanks for tuning in as always and have a nice night. Also, I completely forgot about that, but the space build you did for, I think, the overcharged egg competition, I never really followed those, but very cool build, wholeheartedly, looked amazing. And I hope you could win with that build as well. If so, well deserved. Because I'm very pretty. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't usually don't I don't think I ever taken part in X challenges, even though they allow mods and seem quite fun. Maybe I should give it a spin in future as well. But good luck with it. You probably don't want a spoiler, but maybe if you want to spoil, what are you working on for that this time? The heck, there is one sand surface I'm looking for that should. Oh, this one. I was gonna say that I can't find, but here it is. Raised infrastructure, interesting. That would be a very difficult topic for Los Vagos. All right, this all looks fine. Now we need to find buildings that we can squeeze in here. Okay, psst, psst. Feel free to show screens of it as well once you're done with it. But yeah, good luck on that as well. And have a nice night. I don't like how the roofs of these fit with each other. The size otherwise is pretty good. This could be better. But yeah, probably this is what you guys mainly have to suffer through today, because this is pretty finicky and difficult to find things that smoothly fit together in these places. That actually works quite well. I don't like that we're showing this, but I don't think we can fully avoid this. Maybe we can try terraforming a little, but I don't think we can fully avoid this, sadly. Let's have a look if we can manage to terraform this correct, because I would like to have another building here in the bottom, but then we kinda need a space here. So let's have a look if we can somehow manage to fully hide it. Yeah, no, we can't. I had a feeling, and this is getting too steep as well. Can we do the opposite and show it so far that it actually makes sense to be there? If we go deeper here and bring this up later. This we don't want to show, so that we're gonna raise a bit more. I do think this is better if we show it more. This way, it actually is somewhat realistic. Before it looked really silly. I think that's fine. I doubt we can fit a different building here, but let's have a quick look if we can find something really small that we can just lower into the ground so far that we can get a little more life into that side. is too big already. Maybe actually this could work. Let's give it a shot. If we move this here and then lower it all the way till there, it's way too big. I can tell already what we're trying here is not gonna work. Maybe I take it back actually. If we can manage to fully hide this window and have that one out there, I take it back. I do think we can make this work. Still kind of floating. And here we'd have to lower very slightly anyways to get this more. I do think we can get this to work. Surprisingly, I wouldn't have expected so. Actually, we would like to be a little lower, maybe here. We're showing this window very little again, but I cannot. I mean, we can lower it very slightly, but I don't want to lower it all the way. It can be a ceiling window. Honestly, I think it's good enough. From this side, only looking at this block here, we're literally only looking at this small block here. I'm gonna go around from the other side to recheck, but all of this looks pretty appropriate, I feel like. If anybody sees a big flaw, this roof here is a bit. Yeah, I don't think I can get around that. And here we need to terraform a bit more still to get this to be more appropriate, but then I think this is perfectly fine. But yeah, I do think this build is so big and tedious that probably we will not entirely do this in a single go, because I do feel like I'm gonna get bored of only doing Favela in a while. So probably we do some Favela and then start working on a few different things as well. And welcome in, Sunny. Nice to see you, cutie. How are you doing today? And how are you liking what we're working on here? I know you've been also very interested in this pack, and we're still a long way from finish, but I think slowly the vibes kinda start to get to where they should be. I can highly recommend this pack. Like, I've been a bit cautious at the start as well, cause it had a few issues when it came out. But I've been using this. I mean, I played very little, so not the best benchmark, but I've been using this for like a month now, and I have not had any issues with it. So I feel confident enough in saying it's perfectly fine, and you should. And you're probably gonna finish your favela build before mine, even if you start multiple weeks after I started mine, because I can already tell that this is gonna be a very slow and tedious build. I see, I see. You also still owe me something, Sunny. I have not forgotten about it, and I know you're always busy, so I can be patient, but you do still owe me something. Hmm. I would say I can be in London next week, but my miss is over here next week, so I guess she's doing very well because Sunny is such an amazing guy that probably it would be difficult not to fall for him. My girlfriend used a moment to flee the city when Sunny is coming, so there is no risk in it, which wholeheartedly understandable. And do you have some time to at least also look at stuff, or is it gonna be only work? Because I mean, Paris is beautiful. So I hope you also have a bit of time to look at things at least. Oh, I did not realize how much too high this is. So let's lower this to where it actually belongs, and let's hope it does not entirely break our terrain in the back. See if we broke something here. We're showing something here through that I don't love, but I don't think I can hide this. We can cover this up with something. Yeah, you do, Sunny, and I will keep bullying you about it, because I'm gonna have to say I did something that I don't think ever done. I took a first person train ride from somewhere here till the end of Los Vagos, because pretty much all of this is detailed out by now. And holy, it is actually looking very cute. I have never did a first person ride through the entire city like that. In the train, we have done road trips quite a lot in the past, but not in the train. And by now, my train network actually is starting to not be complete shit anymore. I can already see that there is something happening here that we wanna fix up that I'm not a fan of. And what we just seen is that those people walk here. Yeah, we need to. We're gonna take this entire. The hang around areas are so finicky to work with. Please give me the back here. If anybody has tips for me, I always struggle with this, especially in terrain. I want to delete those corners here. Please, game, work with me. Nice. How can I be less bad at this than what I'm doing here? It's struggling with the terrain and stuff being on top of it. Maybe if we turn all snapping on, it's better. Nope. Oh, you're going to the opera, but that does not sound work related then? I don't know how I can get to these corners wholeheartedly. Ah, nice. Okay, I guess if we look from a flatter angle, that helps. Come on, give me that one last corner, and then I'm already satisfied with this side. I'm gonna start to cry in a moment. Even my worst enemy is bullying me less than Cities Skylines. Is this a skill issue? This probably is a skill issue, and somebody else would not struggle as much as I do. It is my fault. It is my fault for using shitty snapping options. Okay. As always, absolute skill issue on my side. Feel free to make fun of me, I deserve it. Okay, yes. It's not that difficult if you actually use the right snapping options, turns out. God damn it, that was so rough. I mean, it depends on where in London. I actually quite like some of the central areas. The one place I want you to go to when you're in London, but you need a bit of time for that, Sunny, because it's quite far outside. I think I recommended that to you in the past, is called God's Own Graveyard. If you are interested what that is, gladly Google for it. It is a bar slash neon sign museum. It is amazing. You are sitting in between 1,000 beautiful neon signs while drinking beer in a very cool environment. 10 out of 10 place. I wish we had something like that in Hamburg, but it's probably my biggest recommendation for anybody into graphic design in London. And as you do graphic design as well, I'm sure you would love it. Yeah, it actually was partly my fault because of wrong snapping options, to be honest, Gaga. Because once I changed the snapping options to one it should have been, it was a lot easier. Can we terraform this, or do we have to lower the building? We probably have to lower the building. But that should not cause any issues here. Okay. Hmm. I'm not loving how this clips. I also don't love how this clips. Maybe we need to find something here to cover this up. My go-to idea would just be using rocks, but I shouldn't just use rocks for everything. I'm just gonna put this down. I don't think we're gonna keep this. Honestly, I don't hate it. I do think we're gonna keep this. Not in the same position as where it is, because we want to make sure this is still open. Can cover it very slightly. That small corner we can get away with. I do think that's a good solution, actually. I have never been, or I have been in Brussels, but only ever driving through there on the way to ski holidays. It's not a city I've ever properly did tourism in. And Brussels looks beautiful. Like everybody who I know that's been there has been a giant fan, and everything I've seen looked amazing. So yeah, I would absolutely love going to Brussels sometime. Mm. I do think we cannot get around the terrain here, because if I lower it too far, we're actually messing. Hold on, if we also lower this. I'm being way too much of a degenerate perfectionist here, as usual. Nobody will ever pay attention to this, but I will. So we're probably gonna overdo quite a lot in this build. Now the roofs don't clip anymore, and the terraforming looks a lot better. This small gap here, we're just gonna cheat as usual with boulders, and we're gonna use one of the flat boulders, preferably one that has a bit of an angle. This one, for example. That seems like a perfect ramp for the garage. I think that works. You didn't like it so much, curious. I mean, that does not sound like it's a fault of the city, though. That sounds like you just did not spend very nice time in Brussels. Everything Sunny showed of his Brussels stay, the pictures look beautiful. All right, I think we're making some progress for this to look more appropriate. And we're actually going to use Gaga's rock surfaces a lot here, because I want this to not be very well kept, but I don't want a normal ground to shine through. I do think this surface, especially Gaga, so amazing for this area to just give it a bit of texture in the ground. Absolutely lovely. Maybe we should still try to fit something small in front here. Crazy idea. Can we fit this? This will actually be really cool because we can make this functional and actually let this be used as a parking spot. I don't think we can really fix the terrain here though. Actually, I think that kinda works. Is not super logical, but do we care about logic? Not really. I like it. Yeah, I love your rock surfaces in general, but I have to admit I tend to not use them as much for stuff like this to just fill out the area as a bit gravel. I have usually used those for riverbeds and like more nature detailing, but they are pretty solid for more urban areas as well. I think this is starting to look pretty appropriate. This side here still is not great. And then I think we can actually detail up this very first block to give this a bit more of an idea in style. I have to still watch that. I had so little time lately that I did sadly not manage to look at the recent video. I seen the thumbnail of it and I seen the video and it looks amazing, but I am yet to watch the actual video. We need to make sure we don't reuse a building that we have right close. I'm not sure if we can get this to fit here, but maybe. Especially if we lower it a little. I'm gonna go in here. This cut on is very ugly, but now this kind of works. I actually think I like this. I think this works because now we actually have access here as well, so we can bring another path out here. In general, I want to do a bit weird pathing. I also want to, maybe that's something we should do as well. I also want one shortcut for pedestrians through this part here. Yeah, I in general, like, I do watch cities videos, but I don't watch as many as I used to in the past, definitely. Honestly, ignore all of the ugly background, but this front here is starting to actually look cute. And welcome in Gray. Nice to see you, cutie. Okay, we're gonna dive out a bit and fix some other things up that I don't like, because I hate how close this is. It just looks too cramped, so we're gonna go in and yeet this out. We want to keep that one up there, but I want to bring the road up later, somewhere here, and probably further. I probably want this to be even higher, maybe somewhere up here. And then we have a bit more space with all of this to move, I don't know, 50 or 100 meters further down that way. So we can have a bit more separation from this. Because holy shit, do you guys see what this slum does to our population? I love it because one of the issues we always had in Los Vagos is that our residentials are so little dense that it's really hard for us to bring our population up. And I think this is a great excuse to finally help us bring a bit more population in. Gonna move this out of the way so we can pass up there and then we have a better idea of where to move everything. Why am I cheating? What am I doing? I would never cheat. Clearly, I would never cheat. Do we take the slim one or do we even take the white one? Looks too wide for something like this, I think. So we're gonna go ahead and take this, and then hopefully, wait, we're gonna toggle topo. Hopefully we can manage to bring this up there kinda smooth. I already don't like the start here. I want this to be a better curve. I mean, one of the reasons why I don't have that much traffic is that I have a hidden, somewhat good public transport network. A lot of the things in Los Vagos, they look like Los Vagos is really shit, but then under the hood, Los Vagos actually is doing really well with those things. And we have a train station right here, and we have a bus connection from here to the train station. So that elevates a lot of our traffic. Otherwise, you would surely see more traffic as well. So the question is, how do we bring that pass up here? Do we either go through here and like this, or do we just go along the front? I think along the front is probably nicer. Actually, thinking about it, why either or? We're just gonna do both of it. Need to fix this area up a bit more till we can figure where to bring the pass there. But we can already bring it up here. Obviously, this is a bit steep, but we'll fix this with terraforming in a moment. I don't think we can super great fix this up, but a little, I hope at least. Gonna redraw the end because that curve got ugly. But otherwise, I think that's nice. No, I've been thinking about it wholeheartedly. I've been thinking about cheating in that regard a bit, but I decided against it. I do have one thing that's a bit cheaty, and we will also use that cheat system a bit more in future. Which I'm gonna let you guys in on the cheating happening in Los Vagos. First things first, we're gonna turn topo off. If you have a look at Los Vagos like this, obviously the traffic is really nice, right? Then if we do this, you guys can see they have a cheat tunnel that brings people through here from this tunnel up here. And eventually, in the past, we had a cheat tunnel up here as well. So, yes, I guess this is one of the things where I'm cheating a little. Probably we're gonna solve this different eventually, but for now I just wanted some usage for this tunnel entrance because I wanted this tunnel entrance here, and I didn't like that there is no cars driving here, so I had to connect it some more. But yeah, no hidden metro system. I actually just have a pretty well-functioning bus and train system. Yeah, I know. Absolutely illegal and horrible behavior of me here to cheat with that tunnel system. I will agree with you guys. Now let's see how we manage this. I suck at road work so much, so probably we'll redo all of these roads here will get removed eventually anyway. I just want to have more space to move the factory off a bit. Turn topo on again so we see a bit better what we're doing. Guess I should actually go around here. Nah, I don't like it. We need this space. I want this to be further away. I need this space, so we're gonna have to go up here instead. And I'd like this to go a bit further to bring this in an even higher spot. Ignore the road for now. We're gonna properly rebuild this when we're further. Again, I just want enough space to move this out of the way to not be as close with the rest. We're gonna take all of these. Obviously, we're gonna have to adjust the layout of this slightly, but something like this. Because then here we can have a bit of space to actually fade this out and have some nature in between. And welcome in, Riza. I hope you're gonna be happy. I did quite a lot of progress on your favela, and I think slowly we're getting in a direction that is starting to look nice. Look, I added this entire part here in the front. This is the only part where we started to slightly detail it out a little. And yes, all of this is still missing, but we made a lot of progress. Ignore the few flying ones that I've not moved incorrect. But we did a lot of progress here. And we now have this with all of this. Or you can go through these alleys. That's where we worked on it last time, and then this time we jumped over to the other side. But pass through here, and then we have this. This we need to continue still. This is not properly done, but you can go through here if we get through, and then you come up here. And then up here we have the first proper stadium of our city, which obviously ignore these three. I've not moved them up correctly. But we'll have a soccer court here. We'll have a very small market plaza in here. And here I want a different court, but this is the site that we not really touched yet. And then this is the site that I added newly because I didn't like how abrupt it ended on this side of the hill. So I decided we need it to go over the street as well. So I added this part here that we're struggling with. And then something that I expect that maybe somebody will snipe this in future, but most likely we will have this right on top of it, and we'll have a nice lake here, and somebody who lives covered up behind the entire slum, who probably is running the market and other shady businesses in this area. I've not decided yet. We could even give that mansion an actual road connection up through here. Maybe I don't even want that. Maybe I want this to be so covered by the favela that you can only access it from here. I've not decided yet. We'll have to work that detail out in future.
I am moving in, boy.
Okay, I should have expected this, but yes, of course, I have an idea. You probably okay. I should have seen this coming. There you go. It's yours. I'm not sure how much Reza is gonna love this, because this is Reza's favela. So I'm not sure you're making friends here with claiming the boss hat in Reza's favela, but then who am I to judge? You guys have to fight this out on the streets. I'm not saying, Riza, be careful who you make business with, but Gaga seems like a sketchy businessman, at least in Los Vagos. So be aware of all deals you get offered. They probably will not be in your favor. And I see there is an ad break soon, so I'm gonna go send you guys on an UFO ride and take a real quick break. And then we're gonna dive back and keep working on this side of the favela to at least bring it in style a little. And then probably we move over to this side again to make a little bit of progress. But I do think the spacing here is way nicer, maybe even a bit further, since we have some space in between here. And then have more natural ground to fight this out. Probably this weird factory that I, at least for now, kind of thrown in there. We will also move a tad further to the right, so this has a bit more space for itself. But yeah, the fading is going to be the most difficult for me. And I reconsidered, in fact, of a UFO ride, as we always do. I think I'm going to send you guys on a train ride for once. So I'm a bit late, but soon. Right, I hope the ride is long enough so I'm back. But I'm gonna run while the ad break is running and run to the toilet and drink something real quick. I hope you guys enjoy your Los Vagos drive through. The start is undetailed, then we're getting into very pretty areas. So I hope you enjoy. I'll be back with you in like 3 minutes. Bye bye. Yeah, I'm back. And sorry, I did not think that through. I should have not set you guys in a train that actually has a stop while we're running half sim speed, because you guys probably have spent most of the time at the station. But I'm gonna have to admit, especially now, it's so cool. I don't think I've ever took a proper first person train ride through Los Vagos here. I do think it looks beautiful by now, so probably we should do a few more train rides in future. Especially when we're fully done with Los Vagos, I'm starting to get a bit excited because on one side of Los Vagos, we're very close to map borders by now. Knowing how slow I'm building, it's probably gonna take us a few months to actually reach map borders. But we're not that far off anymore, and I'm starting to get very excited about it. And if you're still here, Riza, I'm not sure. I think you said in my Discord that there is an issue with first-person camera and custom vehicles. What did you mean? Because I didn't realize any issue with it specifically. Though I also usually raise my camera to not stay at the starting point. So maybe it's that. But I've been wondering, because I use a first person camera a lot for when I go on ad breaks, and I have not realized any issues. But then, in all fairness, I'm also usually in the kitchen real quick to grab something to drink, so I might have just not noticed. Okay. Actually, that makes sense. I didn't know that you can raise it. Obelix showed this to me, and I think the rides actually look a lot nicer when you move the camera a little. So I started to generally move the camera up a bit while taking first person right. So I guess I'm not facing that issue then. And I guess I should stop the ride here because we're gonna spend a moment in the station. But Maestro, I want you to see because this is your line. It's called Maestro line because it's using your train. Your train is highly popular in my city. Look at the amount of people who are about to board this thing. There's a lot of people using your line. It's the most used train line in my entire save. Or did they stream again today? I always miss the Paradox streams for some reason, but I like it. That's a good mention. Did they stream Cities this time? I think the last time I seen Paradox stream, they were playing Civilization instead. Yeah, this train is hauling in Los Vagos. Like, I generally, a lot of my train clients have pretty low usage and are more pretentious than actually being useful. But that one train line actually is very useful. So, your train line is actually doing God's work. I like it. That's actually a great sign that they're streaming more cities again. Because I just seen when they did their first first city stream in a long time. I believe that was the first city stream they had in multiple years. So nice to see that we're getting to see more city streams again. Todi used to be a streamer, and then I'm not sure. I always know too little about the history of cities. But Todi used to be a Twitch streamer that got hired by Paradox as a PDX in-house streamer. Is that correct? Yeah, thanks, Sunny. I love streaming. I always enjoy it, but I just sometimes have too little stream to properly get to it. But I'm glad that this week I'm managing a bit more again. Oh, okay, but freelance. I thought she actually got fully hired by PDX. Because I wondered, for example, on one of the stream of them I played, I wondered why they don't outsource it. Because as much as I'm glad they're streaming more again, at least the one stream I caught, let's carefully say, was not my favorite stream I ever watched. So I was sitting there wishing that they instead let somebody like City Planner Place or Sunny do it instead. But I do think it's a great sign, regardless, that they're streaming the game more again. Come on, Terrain, play nice with me. It's not playing nice with me at all. Okay, manipulation mode time then. Good enough. Obviously, this overlay here is ugly, but we can fix that later. I'd like to actually go in here, even though that's probably a bit over the top, and pass up these house entrances as well. I think that's gonna add quite a lot of realism. But Blue, the other one, at least in the stream that I watched, Blue is actually working full time for PDX, right? Just so I learned something here as well. All right, I do think this is starting to look real cute. Need to fix up the plants a little because we terraformed here so much. And obviously, we don't want flying plants. Surprisingly. I don't like this yet. Here we want to go in. God damn, that's big. And try to slope this a little. That's a lot nicer. I like we did that. But yeah, I hope you guys are ready to see me detail this favela for the next 2 months or something. Because if we take this long for just this one small block here, god damn, are we in for a long time of detailing this. And this we somehow managed to break. Why? I don't exactly know, but there we go. Now it's fixed again. You will probably release a video with a favela build in your own build in 2 weeks or now, and I'm gonna be like, damn it, I started this months ago, but that's my fault for being such a slow player. But this pack I can only highly recommend, like absolutely amazing pack. Anybody who wants to build a favela should absolutely try this pack and give it a spin.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm.
Welcome in, Dava and gang. Nice to see all of you cuties here. Hope you had a wonderful stream today. Were you playing Cities as well? And good night, Gaga. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy your evening. We are tackling something, or I've been spending the last few streams on building this crazy place here. I'm not entirely sure where we're leading with it, and it's all still very early and unfinished and not yet detailed, and we're still trying to build out this area up here. But I love this pack. I just said it right before you came in. Highly recommend this favela pack for everyone, because goddamn is it an amazing pack that I think flew under the radar a bit, because it had a few issues when it got released, but now it's fixed up since a while and it's beautiful and works amazing. And also thank you so much for the sub, Gray. Much appreciated. Unreasonable to give me any support as I don't deserve so, but appreciate it anyways. Oh yeah, everybody should check out the new Gaga surfaces. And one thing I have not looked at myself yet, beside the screenshot, is the new Joe US houses. They also look absolutely stunning. But I have not looked at them yet, and probably most people watching me have, so I don't want to do it on stream. But beautiful. And how was your stream today, Dava? What have you been working on? And obviously, thank you so much for your raid. Very nice of you. And thanks a lot, Graham. Very generous of you. Appreciate it. And hope Sunny enjoys his ugly, ugly emotes. If anybody is wondering, these are some of Gaga's surfaces as well. So he's gonna release more of them. He had 3 different unreleased packs that he's been working on for a long, long time that are finally and slowly making their way onto PDX. So I hope you guys are as excited about it as me, because Gaga surfaces are beautiful. And Dava, that sounds nice, but to be fair, that sounds like every city stream of me ever. I feel like I never built much while on stream. and just yap and sidetrack a lot, and then eventually we're building something proper. Gaga indeed makes the best nature surfaces. I think if it's about tiled surfaces, I would say El Gendo makes the best surfaces, but if it's about anything nature related, then very much so. I agree, Gaga does the very best. And holy shit, thank you so much for all of you generous people supporting me today. Much appreciated. But yes, Dava, since you're a train fan, I know it's been a long time, and with everything, I'm super slow, so progress has been slow. But sooner than later, we're building out a proper rail depot here next to our favela as well. And I've been asking many people in the past about a solution to trains, and I still am not certain on how to do this the best. I think I asked you about this in the past as well. But I need a solution to bring my train down here as well. And I'm struggling. I have to admit, I simply don't know what the best approach is. I think by now my favorite approach would be to bring it along the highway here and cross the highway and go through the middle of the highway here. I'm not sure if that is somewhat realistic or ever has been done in the US. Probably would be more realistic to stay on the outside here, but I would like not to tackle the terrain too hard. I even was thinking maybe I should bring the train through here, but I would have to bridge the rivers so many times. I guess that's not very realistic. But I've been working quite a lot on preparing my train for the future. And welcome in Golden. Yes, unfortunate for you. Sadly, you can not watch Dava's fun stream anymore and have to suffer in my horrible stream instead, which, excuse me, I feel sorry for you, but it is what it is. Why is that different? Why would you say rail infrastructure is different in a desert and in different biome? I would imagine in both cases the rail has been there earlier than the highway anyway, so I would guess the highway just follows the rail in most cases. And if you don't think I'm horrible, I have bad news for you. I think you just have not watched enough streams of mine, and probably in future you will disagree with yourself, as most of my regular viewers would absolutely say I am horrible. Yeah, I was hoping I can raid Dava today. So as much as I appreciate Dava raiding me today, I cannot stream that long today. I was like, oh, it's a good day for it because Dava is streaming, so I can raid out to him. But I guess Dava was quicker than me today. I raided Jedi so much lately, which probably we're gonna raid Jedi then, but I raided Jedi a lot lately, so if there is somebody else, I might raid out somewhere else. Not because I'm not a big fan of Jedi. I love Jedi streams, but just because I think out of my last 3 streams, 2 raids went to Jedi already. I will see. I'm still gonna keep going a little because I want to make some progress on this area. It's slow and tedious progress, but I hope it's gonna be worth it. I think in some angles, this already looks really nice. I always was hoping that we have a proper pack for something like this. So I was super happy. Yes, that's kinda what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a favela, which obviously does not really fit my US build, but I don't have any proper real life pendant for my build, so I kinda just build whatever I feel like building. And I did absolutely feel like building a favela, so here we are. How well it fits into my US build, I am not sure, because I guess it will be a bit out of the picture or out of the general style. But I hope I can manage to fit it in here somewhat convincingly. Oh, also, Dava, look. Your cute commissioned asset by Trashy. I've not gotten to use it super much yet, but I will definitely use those a lot more when I'm starting to dive into the Rail Depot. They are lovely, aren't they? I was quite surprised to see how little subscribers they've gotten, because trashy stuff in general is really high quality and very well made. And I always feel like the entire cities community just consists of different train lovers, but it did not seem to have hit as hard as I would have imagined it. But in general, I'm quite surprised with what gets subbed heavily in the mod store lately. There is some absolutely amazing assets that very much fly under the radar lately. Yeah, I mean, yes, my build is not really anywhere. There is some Mexico in here, there is some Colombia in here, there is a lot of US in here. Now we're entering some Brazil into our build. And I've said this many times in my stream in the past, but I have to admit I did not mean for them to drive on the left side. I just did not click the settings correctly when I started this build, and then a few months into the build, I started getting really infuriated why it's so difficult to draw my bus lines and why they never connect the way I want them to connect. And then I realized, oh, that is a skill issue and not at all the game's fault. I'm playing on left-hand traffic on accident. And I decided to just stick with it, I guess. Because at that point, I was like a few months into the build, and I was like, okay, now the time to avoid this has passed, so we're just gonna have to accept that we have left-hand drive. It was because I was playing in a British build for a Cities Skylines competition, and it turns out that the game remembers your last setting. So if you played a British build and you don't want your next build to be British again, you will have to make sure to toggle it off. I know that now, I didn't know that when I started this build. But we have UFOs
That's
and
cute.
flying
I wish
animals and
we
all
had a
kind of
cactus.
weird things in here, so I don't think people driving on the wrong side of the road
Place
is
an
our biggest
electricity
issue.
box.
I wish we had a
And
cactus.
is a
I
daily
wish we had a cactus.
jelly sound spam moment. One day I
I
will
wish
stop
we
being a
had a
shit
cactus.
streamer and find out
I
how I
wish
can
we
stop
had a
you from
cactus.
doing this. Till that, I guess I will have to suffer through getting bullied once every stream. But appreciated for you being here and tuning in. And I always pay attention. There has been one actual valuable redeem in there, which is place an electricity box, and you don't have to tell me that twice. I will absolutely place an electricity box.
Emotional damage.
I thought my game just crashed, and I was about to say, oh my god, that is actually very much emotional damage, but we survived. Oh, also, I want to give, because I often give mod shout outs, and probably Dava is already perfectly aware of this, but it's a train related mod, or I should say, public transport related mod that is fairly new and really amazing, and it's this mod. It's a direct competitor to All Abroad. It's called Fast Boarding, and it pretty much does exactly the same that All Abroad did, but All Abroad used to just replace the entire vanilla public transport system and basically built its own public transport system, which back then, I guess, seemed like the best solution. Obviously, that is a bit problematic, and it's cleaner to actually use the system the game offers. And fast boarding does exactly that. It is basically all abroad, beside it actually using the vanilla public transport system, and it has a few additional features that are very, very nice. One of the ones is that, for example, when you have a bus or something stop at the station, usually the people start running for the bus in the moment where the bus should depart, and Honu managed to make them run a bit earlier, so your trains and buses keep having a lot less delay. And I've been testing the mod for a while, and it's very nice and smooth, so highly recommend fast boarding. Uh-huh. I like the sound of that. Yeah, why 30th of May? That's such a specific date, but happy to hear that you're making progress and have managed to make a single map in only like a year by now. So great and fast job, Jelly. I'm proud of it. You are still enjoying the process though, or are you getting tired of it? We don't talk about my map. My map is still going fine. I have just not opened it in multiple months, because one of the reasons why I started to build that map was that I was fairly convinced that Los Vagos would not survive the editor launch. So I wanted to prepare a map that we can play after Los Vagos dies. And then the editor came out, and Los Vagos was perfectly fine from day one. So I was in a bit of a weird situation where I still really want to finish that map and do it, but I don't want to abandon Los Vagos. I love this city. And I thought we would get forced to abandon Los Vagos and the save dies, and I have to start a new map. But that never happened, so I think you guys have to wait for my map till we're done with Los Vagos, which in my case probably means never, because I don't think I'm ever done with a build. You guys probably have to wait till Los Vagos corrupts or dies, and I'm very sad and heartbroken about losing our favorite save. And then probably I will start working on the map again. I just want to build so many things still. My issue really much or very much is that I'm such a slow builder and I always have more ideas for different things I want to build and then I take forever to actually build them. So I never feel like I run out of ideas. I see a lot of Reddit posts that are like, oh, I have this area of my map. What should I build there? And for me, it's the exact opposite. I have so many things I want to build, but I take so long to build something that I don't know. I always have 5 new ideas till I'm done with whatever I'm building in that moment. So we're never really running out of ideas. And I will keep calling this out every single time. Guys, look at this cactus. Is it not beautiful? And yes, we waited for over a year to get a cactus in Los Vagos, but the wait is over. We are cactus people now, and I am very happy about it. And I'm gonna have a look at the screenshots you sent after stream. I'm a sucker for cute screenshots in case anybody else has a cute build and likes to show it off. Please feel free to join my Discord and post as many images of your builds as you'd like. Nothing makes me happier than seeing cute builds from people. I mean, we made little progress today, but at least this front side, from this side, this one block, now is starting to look pretty appropriate. Obviously, we will have to do a lot of sims and prop work and such, and actually detail this up, but I think the foundation is starting to come along. I love that. I am very happy of hearing that, and I can only agree. So I mean, at least our first cactus we already have, and I know it's not yet released, but Gaga is working on it, so soon the first official cactus is gonna be on PDX. But yes, more plants would be desperately needed in this game. But very cute of Cuboid and you to point out the cactus need in specific. How was the PDX stream today? I didn't know that they were streaming. I actually would have liked to watch that as well. It was a good one. Actually, I might watch that while falling asleep tonight then. Where do they announce that? Because even the last time they streamed, I just seen it on like because somebody posted so in my Discord that they're streaming, I believe. Do they announce those somewhere publicly as well beforehand? Okay. I have a feeling that somebody is probably cuboid. Not pointing any fingers. But maybe I will have to subscribe to that cuboid service as well to get personalized pings. Well, that's something I learned. So they seem to have streams at the very start of Cities as well, when the game was freshly coming out. Because I seen StarQ send out to me that before the first stream they had in a long time, they had streams in the past, but they were all over 2 years ago. So I guess they were streaming more active in the start of the game and then kinda stopped doing so. Yeah, I also don't have an NDA emote, which I guess I should work on, but it took me long enough to add my proper emotes I already had, so don't expect this to happen anytime soon. And with a look on the clock, I think I will also have to find somebody to raid out to soon, because I will have to head to bed soon. And I don't want you guys to have to watch another ad break. So as soon as the next ad break is showing, I will find somebody to raid out to. And probably Lishi, though I don't know who's streaming. Maybe there is somebody who's less known than Lishi, who I've not raided in a while, and then maybe I'll raid somebody else. Probably it's gonna be Lishi. But we will find out. Sir, why and where are we walking? And why are we walking? Uh-huh. I'm not saying questionable, but kinda questionable. Where did that person even come from? From the upper level of one of these and then flying down? I would have liked to actually see where she came from, but interesting. I guess we won't complain about something people are doing in Los Vagos, because in Los Vagos you can kinda do whatever you want. I would not personally fly through the air like that, but if they want to, then maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna have a look myself in a moment. As one last thing, I've done this the last time already. I'm gonna do this one more time. I'm gonna do some self-advertising on something that I've not made any progress with, so be patient with me. But I've made some progress with some of the cute assets we've been working on. And I wanted some very nostalgic old school fast food joints, and I have made a cute Taco Bell. So soon we will have a cute Taco Bell, and soon we will have a cute McDonald's. Where bear with me, these are all separate measures, and I have not imported them correctly yet, so we can drag them a bit unfitting from each other, but now it is a proper McDonald's. And the I think most exciting part about this is that all of these are gonna be shiny neon lights lately. So we will have this McDonald's, we will have this Taco Bell, and we will have this Pizza Hut here, which again, all of these will work with quite a bit of extensions, right? So the base building is going to be just that. But then if you would like it to have a bit of a nicer, more posh entrance, sure, you go. You can add the upgrade. If you would like it to have some maintenance less storage, you can add another upgrade and suddenly you have this. And then if you would like a drive-through, which I believe historically Pizza Hut never had a drive-through. I don't care about realism. I care about US build. So everything in a US build needs a drive-through. So you can add a drive-through in the back as well. And then we have this, which is just a small addition, but a Pizza Hut Express kiosk, mini location, I guess. And then we have this White Castle. And yeah, all of them are like not super customizable, but a little. Like as you can see here, for example, this is a drive-through, right? And you don't have to use this. If you click down the building by itself, it's gonna look just like this. No branding, no anything, just a generic. I mean, it's pretty much a White Castle anyways, just due to the architecture. But then the branding is separate, right? So you don't have to use it. If you just want a weird castle building, then sure. And if you want it to be a bit bigger, then yeah, you can use the extensions and add something like this onto it. The reason why I've been so slow with these is that I went a bit over the board and I decided to also add fitting props together with all of this. So right now on the background, I'm working on a prop pack that goes together with these. And then once I'm done with the prop pack, I'm finally gonna finish these up. But yes, this is probably gonna be, at least in my personal opinion, the best pack I have ever uploaded
That's
onto
cute.
PDX. So I am excited to finally finish them, but I've been playing the game so little lately that currently I'm taking a little bit of a break from making assets and actually play the game a bit more again. But I'm sure that will change back soon. And with that, I'm gonna send you guys on a last UFO ride while I have a quick look on Google Maps or on Google Maps, what am I saying? On Twitch to see who is streaming and then rate you guys out over there. I did not see that. I'm so sorry. I always miss it. But yes, of course. Thank you for pointing that out. Big appreciated, Minnie. Very cute that you have been watching me for 5 times in a row. Especially, I can only always point this out because I stream super irregular and generally rarely. So, appreciated. Thank you for that. I wholeheartedly, I need people who call me out because I get sidetracked so much and I overread things in chat all the time. So I never feel attacked. I appreciate it if somebody calls me out for not realizing something. So yes, it's absolutely true. But yes, enjoy your guys' UFO ride. I'm gonna open Twitch real quick and see who is streaming. Again, probably gonna be Lishi, but maybe there is somebody else. It's gonna be Lishi. I can see Jedi also streaming, but he's streaming Transport Fever 2, and if we can, we like to stay within category. So Alicia rate it is. And as always, thank you guys so much for spending your time and your evening with me. I hope I will get to stream maybe another time this week. I'm happy that I finally have a bit more time to be streaming again. And I hope we manage one more time this week. No promises, but as usual, thanks so much for everybody tuning in and for the gifted subs, Gray, much appreciated, and for the raid from Dava. And even for anybody just lurking and sitting around. Appreciate it. And I hope all of you are gonna have a nice night and enjoy your time over at Lishim. I always say goodbye a bit too early and then I click the button too late, so there always is a moment of awkward silence. I'm sure my viewers are already used to that, so it is what it is. But yes, thank you guys so much. Have an absolutely wonderful